Hello, welcome back to the Games Kingdom. My name's Carl King. Today we're going to be looking at the Free League Publishing role-playing game based in the world of Middle-earth, The One Ring. So this is based on the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. So if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, that sort of thing, and you want to get into role-playing, or you're already a role player, then this is the perfect crossover for you. So today we're going to have a look at the main rulebook. Now, because the main rulebook contains the same information for both players and lore master alike, but doesn't really give away too many things in that respect, i.e. it doesn't sort of give too many spoilers and things to players if they read what the lore master role is or can do during the game, other than it will tell you what they can do and it will show you what they can do, but it doesn't really tell you what will happen in your games, because obviously the role-playing game will take its turn of events based on what the players do and what the sort of game master has in store for them, or has sort of set as part of that particular game's scenario or campaign. Obviously players will know that they're going to meet certain things in the game because it's based on the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. So you know, you're going to see certain sort of races, creatures, that sort of thing come up, certain circumstances may come up. But it's not going to be like a game of D&D where you're going to get all sorts of weird and wonderful monsters. You're going to get whatever you know is in that particular universe, and that's for me a good thing, because it's going to stick to what the lore of the books are. And obviously if you've seen the movies and things, or listen to the radio adaptations and audiobooks and things, you're going to know what you're going to come up against. So without much further ado, let's have a quick look through the book. Now, as you can see, I've sort of marked a few things that we're going to go through as we go through this particular video review stroke, can't call it an unboxing, but an opening as such. So obviously it starts off as with any good Middle-earth based book, a map. So then you've got your usual sort of appendices and things, tells you what pages certain things are on. And then obviously we're going to come into adventuring in the Third Age. So obviously that's where the Lord of the Rings is set, in that particular universe, in the Third Age of Middle-earth. And then it will obviously tell you and go through things about playing the game. It will give you a little bit of a timeline here. And then obviously, you know, as you go through, it'll say about playing heroes, the lore master. So again, right at the outset of the book, it'll give you sort of both sides of the coin, as it were, of what you can expect. And then obviously it will show you and tell you about the structure of the game and some of the phases that will perform part of each sort of campaign turn. So here we have a chapter based on action resolution. So it will show you how you make rolls, when you make rolls, what those rolls are for, which abilities you will use, repeating a roll, how to read the fate dice. So it will tell you who to roll, and then obviously it will tell you how to read those successes, what target numbers you need, the degree of successes that you have achieved or not, and then obviously you've got different special tables for your skills. So then you've got modifiers, you've got bonuses versus penalties. So obviously you might get some bonuses because of the character class you are, or weapons or situation or something, and then also on the flip side, for those things you might get penalties. So you might end up with some penalties and some bonuses in the same situation. So you could be +3 and then -2, so that'll give you a +1 to your rolls. And it could work the other way, where you've got -3 +2, so you'll be -1. So then you've got your conditions and the character sheets. So it will run you through how you can draw up your character, as in any good role-playing system. It will show you this, and then I will show you a bigger picture of the character sheet towards the end. But as you can see there is a little sort of diagram stroke picture of what your character sheet was going to look like, and it gives you all of the different areas that you will be potentially getting for your character, and then it will give you an explanation of what those things will do or can do for you during the game. So then you come on to chapter 3, which is the adventurers. So you've got heroic cultures, you've got your skills and combat proficiencies, languages and typical names. So obviously you're going to name your characters, and then you've got some of the races. So you've got bardlings, you've got dwarves, you've got elves, you've got hobbits, men of Bree, you've got rangers, and then obviously you'll get into more of your sort of character generation. You'll have your callings, so you could be a captain, you could be a champion, you've got things like scholars, messengers, and then obviously you're into things like your previous experience, and then you come on to your starting gear. So you've got your weapons, your clothing, your armour, whether you carry a shield or not, some useful items, and then you've got your starting reward and virtue, sorry. So then you come on to things like the company itself. So you go through these different sections, and it will tell you what to do for your character generation before you start the actual campaign or game, whether or not it is a one-off scenario or you're starting a particular campaign to fulfill a quest or journey. You could play through potentially the same thing as the books, but I would think a lot of the games are going to involve doing different sort of quests in relation to Middle Earth, rather than just the destruction of the ring itself. Then you come on to experience and skill points, adventure points, then obviously sort of further adventuring, and then obviously chapter 4 now. So you've got your characteristics, so it will show your skill categories, things like awareness, craft, explore, battle, courtesy, insight, hunting, lore. So you've got your combat proficiencies, so some people will be better at combat than others depending on what race and things you've chosen as well. And obviously it will tell you what your bonuses and things are for those different weapons. It will give you distinctive features, so you could be fair, you could be fierce, you could be secretive, stern, lordly. So all of those things are going to determine how your character plays and how you play that character within the game stroke campaign. So once you've done this, you've obviously and whilst you're doing this, you've got to think about how you want your character to be played, and potentially sort of pick the characteristics and traits and things like that that you want that character to get across within the setting of the game itself. So all of these things need to be thought about whilst you're sort of generating your character to play within the party. So then you've got your endurance and hope. So as I say, as we go through these, I'm not going to go through every single page, but you've got standards of living, you've got war gear. So as you can see here, the book is beautifully illustrated, and it'll give you pictures of different sort of things like your leather armour, your shields, some of the weapons. So then you've got Valour and Wisdom in chapter 5. So it'll give you things about rewards, virtues, cultural virtues. So again, you know, I'm going to leave you guys to discover some of this on your own as you go through the book, if you do get it or have got it. And you know, it will, as I say, explain as you go through, step by step, generating your character, and for the game master itself, how those characters are going to fit into the world that they've created, or the scenario and campaign that they have sort of in store for the characters. So you've got your adventuring phases, so how an adventure phase works. So you've got combat, so this is all detailed. You've got your tables, you've got complications and advantages, then you've got things like councils, the journey itself, so ending the journey, so how the thing will resolve that you're playing through. Then you've got describing journey events. Then you've got what is called the fellowship phases. So it will tell you how a fellowship phase works on these few pages in the book here. Again, beautifully illustrated. And then chapter 8 is basically for the lore master, or the person running the game or campaign. So it will tell them and tell you, if that's your role, how you can run the game. It will give you tools to be used for the lore master, and it will tell you about the shadow. So obviously you've got all of the dark forces that will be working against the party, because obviously they will be playing the good guys, and the lore master will more often than not be playing the sort of evil side, if you like. Although during the game there will be NPCs that crop up, which will be good and bad. So the lore master will have to sort of adapt themselves to both of those roles during the game. Then it will give you a bit about adversaries, and then it has a section on all of the evil races that you can meet. So your normal sort of orcs, trolls, the undead, wolves, and then you'll come on to things like treasure, because you're obviously going to find stuff as you adventure. Again, all of these pages will give you all of that information. Then you'll come through to the Eye of Mordor, and then in chapter 9 you've got the world itself. So again, you've got all of the different areas of the world that your party will be journeying through, and has been dreamt up in part by the book and by the lore master stroke game master. So you could be playing in just one section of the map, or you could be doing a campaign where you'll go from section to section or area to area to complete a quest or journey. And obviously the book will guide you through all of this and all of the areas that you need to consider playing through, and what you can expect obviously within each of those. So then you'll come on to a section about adventuring in Middle-earth itself. So, and then at the back, the final section is the appendix. So here's where you're going to find all of the generic information laid out in sort of tables and sections that will be easier for people to just sort of flick to get the information required at any given game point stroke part of their journey, scenario, game, campaign. So again, we've got all of the tables here at the back, and then an index, and as I said, once we get towards the back, here is a copy of the actual character sheet. So this is the sort of front side, So again, it will clearly label all of your sort of abilities. You will write down any gear and equipment that you have, the race that you are, your name, that sort of thing. And then on the back you've got a little bit more things here about the journey log, the journey roll, any ponies and horses, horses that you might have or encounter, your journal, any events that came up, and then obviously you've got a little sort of hex grid there where you can sort of depict your journey path. Now these things are downloadable from the Free League site. They're all free to download, so you can go and get those. You don't have to sort of bend your book back and photocopy these pages out of here or whatever, or scan them. You can download them from the Free League publishing site. And yeah, from what I've read through of the book itself and of the game, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's something that has been well thought out. The person or persons involved in the writing of these rules have done a fantastic, thorough job of doing so, and sort of the setting obviously was already there. They just had to sort of adapt it to a role-playing game so people could immerse themselves in it. And yeah, if you're a fan of role-playing games, or if it's something that you want to get into, and certainly if you're a Tolkien stroke Lord of the Rings Middle Earth fan, this could be the very thing for you. So again, Free League Publishing, it's available via their website, and sometimes when you buy things from Free League you also get a free PDF version to download. Now I'm not sure about this one. I know they do that with the Alien, because I've purchased some of the Alien things myself. This was sent to me by Free League to do this video and have a bit of a review on it, and sort of show people who were interested in seeing what the book was like, the quality, what was in it, and the layout. So hopefully that's given you a little flavour with this quick video what you can expect from this particular setting. I'm not sure if there are any current sort of supplements or add-ons available, but I'm sure that there probably will be. If there are other games or anything to go by, there's been a plethora of things coming out for the Alien role-playing game by the same people, by the same publisher. So I'm pretty certain that, given the fan base for this, as well as obviously with their other systems, but certainly with things like this and Alien, the fan base for those systems are vast and worldwide. This is going to be given the same sort of care and attention and love that they've given to the Alien universe, and I'm pretty certain that you're going to see supplements and maybe even specific scenario things coming out for this. But as a starting point for both players and game masters, heartily recommend that. As I say, if you're a Middle Earth Tolkien fan, check this out. Free League Publishing website. And until we do another one of these, folks, it's bye for now.